Whether you grow your own corn or you hit the farmer's market during the peak of the season and buy yourself a bunch, I'm going to show you how to freeze corn a couple of different ways so that you can enjoy it all year long. If you're harvesting your own corn, one of the things that you should know is that the best time to pick it is early in the morning. That's when you get the best flavor out of your corn. I don't know why, but it does make a difference. Brought in a couple of dozen ears of corn from the garden. I've already got a pot of water boiling on the stove. The key is keep it as fresh as you possibly can. You'll really notice the difference. Okay, so now that my corn is boiled for 4 minutes, I'm going to pull it out of the pot and put it directly into the freezing cold ice water. This keeps it from overcooking, stops the cooking process. By cooking it partially, we've destroyed the enzymes that are in this vegetable that will cause it to discolor and lose its flavor and just change, go bad during its stay in the freezer. Again, this works for all kinds of vegetables. The blanching time may be different, but you boil it, partially cook it, then you take it, immerse it in very, very cold water to cool it down right away, and it's ready to freeze. Now, what I like to do is I like to just use regular freezer bags, and I always like to pick out the best few ears and leave them whole. Just simply take what really nice looking ears of corn, put them in a bag, freeze them up. It's just that simple. Now that I've got my 6 ears set aside here that I'm going to freeze whole, I'm going to show you how I do the vast majority of my corn that I freeze every year. Just simply, I have a nice clean pot here. Just a piece of pine is all I'm using. Just simply take your ear of corn, set it on top of the pot, on top of your pine, and slice it off with a knife. I'll stand this way so that you can see, and then I'll try to show you some close-ups. If you can, try to make your cuts as even as possible. Get down about a ½ inch and try to cut it off in one fell swoop. You have a better finished product that way. It's not as pretty if you keep cutting off this kind of stuff and mixing it in, cutting it a second or a third time. Whenever, just try, go about a ½ inch deep and cut them kernels right off. And as you look into the pot, you can see that some of the chunks, they're still all stuck together. I like to break them up a little bit so that they're not all stuck together. It looks a little nicer in the bag. They break apart really, really quick. I hope you guys can see that. Let's break them up. Now this is ready to bag. Dump it in that bag. For me, that works out to be a nice serving for me and my wife to enjoy. What I'll do as well is I'll make some larger bags and some slightly smaller bags so that you have a selection when you go into your freezer as to the quantity that you want to pull out at any given time. And the same as before, just go ahead, try to get out the vast majority of the air if you can help it. Seal the bag. Which is sometimes easier said than done. One bag of frozen corn, ready to eat during the winter.